What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dope and Tape Show. This is an exciting day. So we are geared up. We're packed. We're ready to go down to AFSA in Orlando. We leave tomorrow. Me and Bobby get to meet each other again. It's like we had these big lapse of time before we get to hang out again, yet we talk every day. So when we see each other, before we see each other, we're like, oh, man, I can't wait to link up and
See you
hang out.
tomorrow.
But then it's like we talk every day. It's almost like we just don't skip a beat, you know. It's we meet each other. It's like, what's up? All right, let's get to work. And and that's really what it is, like straight to work. Like I've been asked, like, so what's Bobby like? Did y'all talk about life and stuff? I'm like, no, we talk about work.
Life.
We worked.
I talk to you every day. We talk
Yeah,
about
the whole
life.
time.
Yeah, we were at work. You weren't first, stay clashing, but you were pretty close to first. You're second. I got Florencio as first. Yo, what up? Where's
Yeah.
Ashby?
So let me put this out here real quick before you start talking, Bobby. All right. Still my time.
My bad.
Still my time, buddy.
All right,
All
let me
right.
share. I'll share some shit.
Just so you know, it's free to come on. We love it for you to come on, tell your story. If you know someone who has a really cool story in a trade, just let us know, and we're happy to hear it. And we want to hear it. You know, it's important. And then guys in the trade do not get that opportunity to share their great stories. It's almost in the shadow, you know, and just like almost in a way not appreciated by a lot of people. So this is a platform where you can come on and we appreciate you. And tonight we have Colton. Colton's over in Denver, Colorado. He's a pipe fitter. And your Instagram is what? Pipe was it?
Viking_pipe fitter.
Yeah, and he does pipe fitting stuff. So go check his Instagram out.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man.
I'm just surprised now that it's free. Why did I have to pay and everybody else gets to come on for free?
Yep.
Well, you know, it's still a business, buddy. You know, it's still a business. They just don't know it yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, I'm doing real good. I think you guys are way later. Are you guys both on the East Coast then?
Yeah, but he's in Boston. I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So, but same idea. Yeah. It's weird not being on East Coast time because I'll put out like my posts and my live stuff and people will be like, oh, just do it on East Coast time. I'm like, but I don't live in the East Coast. So, like, we're living on Mountain Time for the next 2 hours. Like,
Do it on East Coast time.
Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, shit. I'm
That's why
constantly
we do it at
Googling.
9 o'clock Eastern time. Because typically, like on the east side, like 9 o'clock's not too late. But on the west side, everybody's kind of getting off work.
It's a little early,
Dude,
but yeah, it's perfect.
It works so well for me because I go to bed by 9 o'clock. So I couldn't live in the East Coast. Like I'm an early to bed type of guy. So if like I see like football games, they're like 9 Eastern. I'm like, who the hell is watching that? Like,
Yeah.
right.
I know.
Oh,
yeah, this is the
legend.
latest thing we do. I mean, right after this at 10 o'clock Eastern, we shut it down. I go straight to sleep, up at 5, go to the gym, get back to work.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like, I think that's if you're in the trades, you're going to go to the gym. It's the morning, dude. At least for me, I can't get up, go to work, and then expect myself to like go and want to go to the gym after. Or you get like some long, shitty day, and it's definitely not happening at that point.
Gym in the
Yeah.
morning is such a different breed. You
What do
guys,
you
But
do?
see, once
I
it's
just go to
done,
work.
though,
I just go to work. I don't do the gym.
once it's done, though, like in the morning, you get it done. You just have this extra gear. You're like, all right, I'm freaking ready.
What time you got to get up to hit the gym?
4:30.
You get up at 4:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get up around 4 to 4:30, depending on what kind of day I got to start. I agree. Like then I get to work and there's guys who are like dragging ass, having coffee, and I like spring in the door. I'm like, here we go.
Ready to
like, what's
go.
your problem, dude?
Yeah, but so if you had a 6 a.m. start, what time you have to get up? And you're an hour away.
Shoot, when I was actually working in the fields, like when I had field weird starts, my wife hated it, but it was like sometime between 3 and 3:30. I was like up in the morning. It was kind of pitiful.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Well, see, so Chad's out on the West Coast, and we pick him up at 5:30 on Friday at the airport. And I'm gonna get up early, get a workout in, get back, get dressed. We go pick him up with some breakfast.
Damn.
We just
all
gotta
right,
get
yeah.
it in, man.
Yeah, wake me up after the workout, please.
But see, also, like,
when
I
you
went
get a
to,
workout, and
we
he's
went
like,
to
I
the,
don't. I just go to work.
Oh,
we went to
shit.
the lake last weekend, and I brought kettlebells and I brought my weight vest. I was gonna work out, but like I didn't sleep at all in the bed I was sleeping in. It was terrible. It was hot. It it was just uncomfortable, and I didn't work out. And then the whole way home, I was like, man, why am I being such a freaking wimp, man? Like, why did I just take it easy? Like, I just
Kid
beat the
brings
crap out of
kettlebells
myself.
to the lake. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, man.
I've never done that either. I have like used like a rock though as like a weight. I've done like squats like holding a big rock.
I love it. The power to you.
Bring Veronica. So, who got you in the trades? How'd that start?
Mine was like kind of it was forced. So when I got diabetes when I was like 10, so with diabetes you have to have health insurance. So it was like you better have health insurance so that you can survive. So I tried to go to college for like 6 months, and that didn't work out. But if I was in college, I could be on my parents' health insurance. So then my dad had a buddy, and he said he was looking for young men with a driver's license, and I was like, I'm a young man with a driver's license, and that's how I got into pipe fitting.
Just
So yeah,
Someone's always bringing
stumbled
you
into
in,
it.
yeah, I
like
was
everybody
able.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to drive to work and show up on time, and I actually found that I loved it. So my brother and I started pipe fitting at the same time. He only did it for about 6 months. Like I'm a big guy, he's a huge guy. He's like 6'9", 380, and he was
What?
hot. Yeah, he was
Jeez.
hot, sweaty. He couldn't fit anywhere, so he got all pissed off and left. And I was like, I kind of love this. Like I love working with my hands. I could never see myself doing anything else after I started it, and just fell in love and kept moving forward with it.
So how big are you? How tall are
I'm like
you?
right now I'm a little over what I would like to be, but I'm at like 6'4", 260, 265,
6'4"
which
is
is
tall, man. That's up there.
it's and I'm like a little guy in my family. So I meet other people like regular people and I'm like, everybody's so small, and guys are like, no, I'm just an average human being, you asshole. Like what are you talking
Dude, I get it. I get it. So my family, I'm the shortest. So I'm 6'2". I'm the shortest in my
Ate your
family. It's
green
my
beans when you were kids.
because my dad's Irish, so he brought me down. And my mom's side is all Scandinavian, so like Viking genes. And so I'm 6'2", but I ended up getting beat up and fighting the bigger, cousins.
about? Yeah. Well, in the
But I
fight
think
for food
I
thing
Yo,
think
what
too.
when
up?
you get on a ladder and you're hanging pipe, I think if you're a strong, like shorter guy, like that's almost the way to go.
I think you need a tall and a little guy. Personally, I worked with like my best buddy, dude Josh Seibel. Like we worked super well, and he was like a short, like slim, get around guy, and I could like pick up the heavy stuff. And he'd hate that I'd say that because he always like wanted to think that he was big, but like I would still pick up the heavy
Yeah,
stuff.
you know that you're not the big guy when you're in the crawl space or you're in like the attic. You gotta
Yep.
climb into the little hole under the sheetrock. You guys need one of those special ladders?
I can lift. I can tell you, I can lift a ceiling tile without needing a ladder in most buildings. Like if you got to go above ground, I don't take a ladder. I just reach up and I just kind of move it. I'm like, nope, this is where we want to
That's
be.
not it.
Like we'll go
That's awesome. Always looking for a fucking chair or something.
down. You're standing on
Oh.
the upside down trash can, and you're like the first tile you can lift, and then each one you're like getting further and further away as it crushes itself.
Well, they got ladders where like if it's 300 pounds or more, you got to use a special ladder. So if you're 260 carrying a piece of Schedule 40, right? You technically should
Yep.
be on a special ladder.
Dude, my brother was over the weight limit on every single ladder. That was like one of his like qualms. He's like, dude, the ladder says it only holds 300. I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't get on that thing, dude. You're gonna crush it.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Poor
So
big
He's a
guys.
walk-in OSHA violation.
so what's up with
Yep.
that? I see you in that awesome. Is it Viega or Viega?
I mean, I don't care what you guys call it as long as you buy the fittings, but it's Vega. Franz Ollentime Wegener started the company in Attendorn, Germany, so it's Wegener and Attendorn, so Vega, but say whatever you like.
Viga.
So how'd that come
That's a
about?
sick setup though that you're at right there, where
It's
you
a
make those videos.
Yeah, it's a sweet little shop. A lot of like the video equipment that I brought home to like do this is like we set it up because we had to do virtual trainings. So COVID hit and I was like training out in my garage, so they bought all this like computery stuff. And then when COVID went away, we went back to like in-person trainings, went back to the shops, and then I kind of just built that studio thing out to kind of like help with that. But that room when I first went to Viga was just like a blank white room with a tri-vice sitting in the middle of it. And it was just like it made me want to pull my fucking hair out, to be honest. Like this is not fun to be around. So slowly over time I used their money and bought a bunch of stuff and those benches and all that stuff that comes with it.
It looks sick, man.
It's cool.
Love what you're
Yeah, and
doing.
I appreciate them letting me use that space, that's for sure. I've
Uh,
gotten a little bit of trouble here and there with it, but it's nice.
Kenco Kenco Plumbing. He says his trade swagger just showed up.
Hell yeah.
If you
Yeah,
want to, if you
shop's
want to get,
closed. I'd love to pump it, but shop's closed. Working
yeah,
on the next drop, so when the next drops comes out, I'll let you
pump
guys
it,
all know.
bro. Pump it up. You could do that. You could give yourself a plug.
Yeah, so VikingPipefitter.com. That's where I did all the first brand, that first like trade swagger thing. I'm working on the next drop. I'm gonna do like a blackout drop. So a lot of the same kind of stuff you guys saw, but it's gonna be like black on black print, black on black hats, and some other little sayings and stuff. But kind of like you guys say, nobody's appreciated in the trades. I always felt like most of the dudes I met in the trades were like dirty old men and like plumbers cracks hanging out. Like nobody's like super cool in the trades. And I always thought that I brought my own kind of like swagger to the trades. So, like a little bit of trade swagger, like you can do this shit and also be cool and like make good money. It doesn't have to be this like shitty career that everybody thinks it is.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got. I like the. I like a professional looking dude on the or lady on the. Not like dirty and like ripped clothes and
Dude, we
like
talk about this all
look
the time.
presentable, man. And
Other fitters
you don't
are
necessarily have to
rough
tuck your shirt in.
sometimes.
Like I'm not a tuck my shirt in guy, but that goes a long way too. When I was an apprentice, I would tuck it in just to get along with the older guys if I had to.
I think just looking like you're supposed to be there. There's a different look between like looking like you're dirty and you're doing work and just looking like a slob on the job for no reason. Like it just
Well,
makes no
also,
sense.
yeah, trim your beard. Get it off your
Yeah,
neck.
don't
Yeah,
have
Take a
like.
shower.
well, if you're gonna
Get
rock
your
the nice
haircut,
beard,
bro.
yeah, if you're gonna rock the beard, trim it up, and make it look like a nice beard. Don't look like you just woke up 10 minutes ago and decided to maybe do
Please.
construction.
Let's see. We got the comments are popping off. I haven't been talking to anybody. Hi, hello everybody. Eric, Florencio, Amy, Kenko's here. Let's go straight from New Bedford, kid. Who's from New Bedford?
Kenko? I think Kenko's from up there,
Kenko, you're from New Bedford?
right
Yo,
near. So he's right near Monster Content or whoever too with
N-
Matt.
New Bedford. That's like where all
Yeah,
the every if you're a painter or a taper in Massachusetts, you're from New Bedford. New Bedford. Right there
I
near
just learned
Fall
you
River.
can't you can't call it New Bedford. Like I went up there and like we have a training center up there, and like everybody's like, "You're not from around these parts." Like nobody says words like they should be said.
Yeah,
Apparently, I don't know.
yeah, New Bedford. They all call it New Bedford. Right there next
I
to
went
Fall River, kid.
I went into a gas station and I was asking the lady for something I can't remember what, and I was like real friendly, like, "Hey, how's your day going?" Blah blah blah. And she was just giving me like this mean ass stare, and I was like, "What's up? Like, what's happened?" She's like, "You're not from around here. You're way too friendly." And I was like, "Well, fine, give me my shit, fuck off," and like left. I'm like, "Oh, it's like my bad for being nice. Like, have a shitty day."
It's probably like like where we are. I went and got coffee today, and the area that I'm working is not a great area. It's like where a lot of the homeless hang out. They call it Methadone Mile, and the businesses around there, those people aren't friendly because they're just not dealing with nice people. So when you go in, because I'm the same way, man. Like, hey, how's it going? And they're just like, they don't even know like what to think of you. Like I'm just like, can I get a coffee? And there's like just homeless people everywhere. So I
Yeah,
I, I feel for them. That must be a terrible thing to have to work through every day.
That's rough.
Who's from
So
New Bedford? I don't get it.
down in St. Petersburg, and it's a cool thing that they do this, but I was down there for a corporate event, and then went down there again. It was like consulting for fire, for fire sales, right? So it's consulting with a company, and I went into their Starbucks downtown, and in the morning in the wintertime they let the Starbucks go in there and they get water and stuff. But as soon as you walk in, like I walked in, I was expecting. Besides,
Oh,
I
they
have
let
a
the
coffee
homeless they
company,
let the homeless go in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I have a coffee company. I love coffee. So I walked in to big, huge whiff, and I was just like gagging. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, the homeless smells great. Paul says he's gonna get a dope and tape face tattoo. No
Oh,
way.
no way.
No way. Oh, the trade swagger came from New Bedford.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
the guy I got the clothes with is out of New Bedford.
oh, okay. So that's where.
Yeah, so the guy like that does like he prints it all and does all like the work side of it. He
Oh, I
ships out.
got you.
I had a couple people were like, "You're from Mass," and I was like, "No, I'm not from Mass." Like,
How'd you find a mass? How's that work out? That's just the best deal, or you know that guy?
I met him through a friend, so I met him through Matt on here, and that's who Matt had used for some stuff. So I
Oh,
met
that's awesome. We tried to get him on. Um, I even went. I bought his calendar, or his wife's calendar. I don't know however you want to. That's like the show calendar. But he was gonna come on. Wasn't he gonna come on one of the first episodes? But he's just like so busy. He was like wicked blowing up at that point.
yeah.
Now
He's
he's
a
now
busy.
he's now he's way well blown up. But we'd love to have him on. Shout out to Boston Plumbing Monster. He shares me sometimes.
Monster Content Inc. now
Oh yeah, that's right. Monster Content Inc. Kid.
because he blew up, kid. No,
Let's.
but yeah, he's actually a student, like just like everybody else. Like you get to talk to him and hang out with him. He's a super nice guy. I went out there and like before I had a training out there in New Hampshire, I stopped off at his place and stayed at a hotel right near where he lived and just like worked with him for a couple of days,
I
like
watched
screwed
that.
around. Dude's fucking hilarious. It was just fucking funny time.
That must be a great opportunity. That's cool that he did that.
Well, he said it before too. He was like, dude, he's like, it's like when you meet people on Instagram, it's like meeting like Mickey Mouse in real life. You're like, you are a real person, like you do exist, like, and it's so true. Like every time I meet like an influencer or whatever you want to call him, I'm like, this is a guy. Like, hey, it's nice to meet you. Like, it's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah, that is. I was gonna go to that thing in New Hampshire. It was yeah, I think I had like my kid out of school play or something.
yeah. How
That,
dare you?
that
How
little.
dare you miss my thing
Yeah, I
for
know.
your
Why would they?
kid?
Why would they schedule that? They should have known. I'm stuck thinking today's Monday. I'm late to the party. Good evening, dope and tape. What up, Tommy?
What's up, man?
Paul's
What's
getting
up?
to get a dope and tape face tattoo. All right, let's talk. Did you see me do some pro press, kid?
I did. I saw you.
Huh? How'd I do? I see you guys do that marker trick. I don't really get the point of it, but I did it.
You followed all the rules. You did all the stuff. You did it great.
What's up with the marker? Just to make sure?
Yeah, so like I mean, if, like it's more like if you were doing like hundreds of fittings and you had a bunch of shit dry fit and you came back and like had bumped stuff apart and it wasn't
Oh,
all the way together, so you could
you could
see it
see
before
it.
you
I
pressed it. Yeah.
gotcha. I like it.
So it's yeah, it's a whole thing, and I always have to do it. So like I'm here working at my house, I'm putting in like a backflow preventer on my house, and I've got like two fittings and I'm videoing. I'm like, I better mark these pipes, like I can't be the fucking guy who doesn't do the stuff that I tell people to do all day. Like
That's
get
awesome.
in here and mark these real quick.
I love the shirt, Viking Pipe Fitter from Chad. What up, Chad?
What's up, Chad?
Chad, should I put this on my side? Should I just steal? I know they didn't trademark it. This is somebody else's shirt, but maybe I'll put it on mine too. Maybe that'll be part
Do
of
it,
my
kid.
next drop.
Change
Tell
change
me,
the
tell me
font.
your site again. I'm trying to find it. What is it?
What's that? My handle
Your
or what?
no, your website. What is it again?
Just VikingPipefitter.com.
Okay.
No spaces or nothing. It's gonna tell you we're closed until the next drop or whatever. So I don't even know if you get to see anything or anything like that.
That's true. When I met Bobby and Brian in Vegas, it didn't feel real at first. Dude, I'm just like I'm just a guy.
I mean, but it's so true though. Like you see somebody and you only see them through like a camera lens or a phone lens. They're like, it's almost like a movie star. Like you don't realize that that's a real fucking human being with like feelings and all kinds of shit going on.
That's awesome. I feel like what like
Cool.
Brian when Brian and I first met, it wasn't like we had just been doing Zoom twice a week for like 6 months, 7 months or
Then
something. So it was
also
like
talking every day.
I was like,
So
hey,
it's like
like let's eat. I'm hungry. Like it was late at
that's it.
night.
It
We
was
were in
like,
Vegas.
hey,
I'm like,
hey.
let's get some tacos and fucking let's get to work.
So what do you guys do? You guys just like pick up on like random like trade shows and shit, and then you go and like get to meet there and do the podcast there together, or what?
Well, so we go to the expos and conventions, and the reason why we do that, so I gotta give a shout out to Fire Sprinkler Podcast. He covers them, but it's just I feel like it's not. It could be more stuff, right? It could be more
There's
coverage.
so much to cover for just
So
one guy.
much.
Even with us two and him there, there's like so there's three people there now that are filming, and it's not just it's only we're going to fire sprinkler conventions. So like we
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
NFPA National Fire Sprinkler Associate National
And our
in
goal with
June,
that is to let everybody know about all the new stuff.
and this
So
year and
they
we're
know
going to
about it.
AFSA tomorrow. Like we're meeting up in
Yeah.
Orlando tomorrow for AFSA.
Yeah, like it hurts me to watch you guys group pipe all day when you could just be pressing every single fitting forward to that.
I don't know if we can though. I mean,
Yes, you can.
All right, do you have you got like inch and a half press by inch and a half press by 1 inch female NPT?
No, we don't make that direct fitting, but we do make an NPT and a fitting reducer, so you could just put that in there.
So picture me running a inch and a half branch line or a 2 inch branch line. I'm going through the place, and I got to come off of that branch line every 10 or 12 feet with 1 inch, and I want to screw that pipe. I don't want to press the 1 inch necessarily, do I? You want to
You
press
could
the 1 inch too.
absolutely
So
like
how am I?
we make a 2 inch by 1 inch T, so you could just press into there,
And then
and if you
so
want it,
how am I going from one to? So I have to get down to a 1/2 inch threaded as my last spot. 1/2 inch female.
So just use a 1/2 inch reducer
So I
in
make
the
so
FIP.
we make one thread.
You can make 0 threads if you wanted. We make FIPs and MIPs too.
What is that? What's
What
FIP?
it's press on one side by female iron pipe. So it's basically a threaded
Oh,
fitting, but it's press on one side and thread on the other,
all
just to
right.
put right in your head or whatever you want
So
I
to
might
do.
be able to fuck with
what's
that.
the max pressure it can hold back?
On fire sprinkler, we go up to 200 psi. That might be one spot where we like hit on you guys, but 200 psi on fire
So
sprinkler.
that would have to be after, like if it has a fire pump, it would have to be after the the master pressure reducing valve because the pump will sometimes like kick it up to, freaking high. Like,
Well, I mean, how much is ahead of the pump though? That's only like your larger size stuff though, right?
yeah, that will be the largest,
It all
6 to
depends.
8 inch,
Yeah, you probably wouldn't
Yes.
have high pressure on it. I mean,
4, 6, 8. Yeah.
unless
Yeah,
you were
so
doing
we only
press.
we only go up to 4 inch anyway, so we'd be downstream all that. But here's the main thing: it's somewhere between 60 and 90% faster. Like I know you're a fast threader.
No, no, it's
I've never even
extremely
I've never
fast.
I've never
So
even put
much
one
faster.
sprinkler together, and I bet you I could go and press a job and smoke you one just because I don't
No,
even.
No,
Here
I
we
mean you
go.
could
it's fast, man. It's definitely
you
fast
save days,
if
if
you're
not
set up for
weeks,
it. That's what I was talking
Yeah.
for
about. Like
sure.
if I were to all of a sudden go and press a job, it wouldn't be half as fast as if someone like you who's already specializes in the press does it. But after a job or two, you know I'd be fast.
Dude, one or two of them you figure it out. Just the not having to mess around with the oil and like all that stuff. You just cut it, ream deburr, put the fitting on.
Pew,
Most of the time, the pipe's smooth enough. You don't even have to clean it. So,
pew. Yeah,
Or even on a
very
crew,
quick.
if you're running a crew, you can just have two guys hanging pipe instead of one guy cutting.
yep.
Just pressing and go. So you don't, do a lot of people want to dry fit? You don't want to just press and go?
I would press and go.
I
Some
would.
people, like if they're working on like a boiler system and they've got like a shit ton of stuff to lay out under a boiler, they want to put it all together and see how it looks before they start smashing. But if you were running one pipe sprinkler, like why would you want to stop and have to go
Pew,
back to
pew.
that? You can press it to go.
Yeah, I don't like dry fits.
I should have.
Oh, geez,
If I
that's
could have,
scary.
if I could have chose the winner from my trade swagger, because I don't know if you guys knew that, I gave away like $17,000 in tools with that, like when I
Whoa.
did my clothing thing. Um, so the kid who won that got the Pro Press, the Mega Press, the Pure Flow, RLS jobs, all kinds of shit. But if I could have picked a winner, Bobby, you would have been the person I would have picked just because I wanted to see you pressing more stuff. And that day you pressed, I was like, it's
It's
happening. I'm like,
happening.
yes,
Well, I went and picked up
So do you think it's
the
coming
little
to fire
one.
sprinkler? I would think the problem would be with the pricing of the fittings.
yeah, you save the money on the labor. So we do
Oh,
we
for
do like
sure.
we do a cost comparator. They're like, yeah, our fitting's more expensive, but the time you save on labor more than makes up for it.
So let me ask you this. How much is a 1 inch union or a couple? Let's say, I guess it's not a coupling.
Just a
So
coupling.
yeah.
Yeah, we sell couplings. I mean, a 1 inch like FKM coupling. Just look at probably 6 times as much as your threaded companion. Like whatever it is, just think we're going to be about 6 times as expensive.
Oh, that's a good rule
Okay,
of
and
thumb
then
to have.
labor is around on a cheap side is 135. If you're running a crew, you're like 195 an hour.
Yep,
And then I think that Pro Press, honestly, I think it could save you days,
if
Oh,
if
not like
not
weeks.
weeks.
yeah,
Yep.
depending
If
on how
not
long the
weeks.
job is. Yeah.
I mean, I would be really interested to price that out.
Well, the only person
Oh,
I've seen doing it was is Jeremy up in
But if you got
Vancouver.
a big company that's running, and just like they can't keep up with the work, and if they can cut that time in half, I mean, I would say that it'll be a no-brainer. But if you're a slower company and you need that time, I don't know, man. I would like to price it out on a job, like
I
on an estimating sheet.
I know a lot of guys are using ProPress in the fire pump room for sensing lines, and that shit's holding. Every fire pump room that I go in nowadays that people have been in, those sensing lines all have ProPress on them.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's
like,
around 130,
And
170.
you got big pressure. Like the last one that I'm talking about that I was in is pump room sits at 225 before the pressure
yeah. So the
reducer.
Pro Press side, if we're talking Pro Press, that's all copper tube size. Mega Press is the iron pipe size.
Yeah.
Pro Press is about 300 psi on liquids, so even higher. And then like it's
Mm.
all like we say like 300 and 200. We have over a 6 times safety factor. Like we have to build that into the fitting because it's a press fitting and people don't trust it. So whatever we say it can do, it does way more than that. Like I bend the fittings in half on purpose and spin them on the pipe at like 800 psi and they
I
hold through all that.
I've watched
So
those videos. If you haven't seen them, you go on Instagram to Viking underscore pipe fitter and you can see What you did mega press where you put it together, you pumped it way up, and then you actually bent the elbow to like I don't know, almost 180,
Yep.
and it
You
didn't
bend
leak.
it. Yep.
And I didn't know that you can pivot those. You can
Yeah.
pivot.
So if you screw up, the three parts on the inside bite in, and then that hub kind of glides across. And not glides; it's hard to move, but you can move it after you pressed it.
So if you were piping ahead in press and you were off by a little bit, you could take your arm over and kind of give it a little same way you would do it with threaded pipe
Exactly.
if you
Yep.
wanted to
Except
cheat
for you
that
don't have
baby.
to worry about only getting tighter. You can go either direction. You can spin the thing like a fucking wheel if you wanted
Oh,
to.
that's a good topic. So
Dang.
do people back off? Like if this is another reason for dope and tape, like I put dope and tape on it, I'll back off a quarter turn. That baby won't leak if I had to.
Maybe I never did enough threaded. I did a ton of threaded pipe. I was always told if you have to back up at all, just take it off and start over again. Like
Nah, dude, I'll bump
that's the
I'll bump it
direction.
I'll bump it back. I'll bump it back. Sometimes if you have like something leaking down this end, you can tighten it in this way and you're kind of loosening it from that side.
Stealing
Try to
from Peter,
try to
give to
try to
Paul
find the
kind of
middle.
deal.
I've done it before in a pinch.
Yep.
That
You ever
four
run
inch
into the reverse thread coupling?
um no,
No,
I never have. But a lot of my videos people think that I'm doing reverse threads because I use the
I've
selfie
cross
camera a
threaded.
lot.
I cross-thread the shit
I
out of it.
I'm cross
No, so
threaded.
I one scheme system one time I ran into it. We were trying to back this pipe out, and I was just going. I was like, dude, like I'm a strong guy, like it's not coming. And we finally just ended up cutting it out. My boss is like, oh yeah, this is reverse thread. It's like repair coupling. So you like that's what you do. You put it in between the two pipes. So when you spin it, it tightens into both pipes at the same time. I was like, that's insane. I'm like, that's stupid. They shouldn't make that.
That
or at
is
least have it like written
have a
on.
big label on it or something.
Or
Yeah,
like the propane fittings where they got the line on it, where it's like, yeah, backwards is the right way, or like oxyacetylene, the one side has the actual like line through the nut, so you know to do it backwards.
Damn, you guys are
jeez.
popping off in the comments.
Legend key.
Let's hope for some cool connections in Orlando. Schlund is here. Daddy's here, he says. Yo, what up? Those pro presses are sick. I knew it was going to happen. I was going to meet Bobby. He was going to come out for a hydrant replacement, but of course it got scheduled for September 14th. Yeah, that's tight, kid. My son's birthday's on the 15th, and we're going driving all around to chase his favorite singer. So I heard they aren't keeping UL for fire anymore for copper for fire. Uh-oh.
Nobody was using it, so we dropped the UL listing. But if you've used the product or whatever, it's still like grandfathered in there. It's not that it doesn't work, just not enough people used it on the copper,
To pay for the
so we
UL
dropped that.
listing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we and it's to be honest, it's fucking silly. It was like a $20,000 a year that we paid for it. So in my mind, it doesn't make sense to drop it, but I'm just a lowly trainer.
Are there
Just
gaskets in the Pro Press fittings?
sealing elements, yes.
It's an O-ring, isn't it? More or less.
It's a ring in the shape of an O, but we call it a sealing
I
So that's something that came up
got you. I
with
like
the
that.
rubber
I like that.
gaskets in the new RCs where the sprinkler heads go in. You just do it hand tight with that new stuff because they say that
I don't like
the
those.
O-rings are only good for so many years. I mean, dope and tape is good forever, but that O-ring is
That is the
not.
major comment anytime is like people say like, oh, O-rings only last 15 years or something, but
Yeah, so our product has a 50-year 50 warranty on it, and it's a little different. So that's why I don't call it an O-ring. An O-ring, you like bring two things together to seat it, and then it's still in the path, like it's still in the flow path, so it's getting direct contact. Whereas with our fitting, you press on both sides, and that sealing element is trapped between the metal, so it's not in the direct flow path. When you initially start the system, it sees like a tiny bit of the fluid, and then that just sits there stagnant for the rest of its life. So that's why it lasts longer. That's why we don't call it an O-ring. And it's also like it's like cross-linked, it's kind of similar to PEX, so it's not like your regular everyday random like sink washer. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different.
I love it. Let me see. That 4-inch Mega Press video was dope. Which one are you talking
Anytime
about,
I
Florencio? When you change that shit above the ceiling? Did you
Dude,
have them?
anytime I press something big, people are amped on it. They're like, "That's an expensive valve." I'm like, "Yeah, that was an expensive video, bro."
So, did you obviously made a mock-up like of a ceiling to do that, right? I was trying to figure that out because people were
Yeah,
telling you to
so
do. People were telling you in your comments, do it above a ceiling, and you're like, all right.
yeah, so I built a pipe rack out of Unistrut and put a bunch of pipes in it, and then climbed up in the wall next to it and put it in. And even that got comments. They're like, "Oh, it's never that easy. The ceiling tile's never that big." I'm like, "Whatever, dude. Like, I'm on a ladder. It's not like I was up in the ceiling, like walking around. Like
Fucking
that's through a
great.
hole. Like I don't know what to fucking
There's
tell you."
comments like that on everything. I love it when they do that. So I posted on LinkedIn a video of me testing a fire pump. I had some hoses connected to it because it was in between two buildings. Like, I mean, that was like 4 feet, right? Between two high rises. And I had some hoses hooked up, but the hoses didn't hit the street. So I couldn't flow water. So I put these old school play pipes and I just angled them towards the building away from me. That was the building next to it. And I was just blowing so much water. And then I had an old school hand pedo, and you have to let's say that this is the pipe. You have to put the pedo on the metal and then turn it and hold it. But technically, from what they were saying, what they were chewing me out about is technically it's supposed to be like here to get better reading. Yeah, but good freaking luck holding that on that water.
Blow it out of your hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
freaking luck. And then the like 6 comments after that guy is like you never done it before. It's almost impossible. Blah blah blah.
That's a little trick of the trade. I think Bobby and I just learned in one of our other little chats. Like, take that guy's comment, like the dirtiest, worst comment, and tag it to the top of your post. Like, let everybody look at it, and it blows shit up. Because
Dude.
other people jump in, they're like, "Oh, we hate you." Like, I don't want to like burn people down and bully them, but like, yeah, you're everyone
Yeah.
comes in and it's like, "Nah, dude."
That is
I don't
it for
see that. I
anyone
got
who's
so
trying to grow an account. That is a very good trick that's just been brought to my attention. Is you pin the haters comment, and right now on one of my posts, literally, it was a kind of semi-viral post. It's been died off, hasn't been getting likes. There's two guys that do not follow me, and they're fighting under the pinned comment with each other, like about like the industrial complex, and they're like going back and forth, and I'm like, all right, which one of these guys is on my side? I go to one guy's page, doesn't follow. Goes to the next guy's page, doesn't follow. That's just because the video's back in the For You page, and they see like that nasty comment, and then they like there's 30 comments under it. People want to read it, man. People are in the comments nowadays. Like that's big.
Well, and it makes so much sense. Like, if you think about, like, just think about how you, like, if you scroll Instagram or you're scrolling through, like, it shows you the first post. Like, it shows you that first comment with the video. So like if
Yep.
it's something that's like, "Oh, great job, buddy," like everyone's like, "Ah, who
Yeah.
cares?" But if it's like getting called out for something, people are like, "Oh, we got to get in there, like it's spicy."
It's
You know what I
fucking
mean?
awesome. It's such a good trick.
wow.
And so like
So
when
if y'all don't
someone said
know,
it, I did that.
so Bobby has what 10,000 almost followers.
Not
Colton
yet.
has 12 something, and
Colton's up there.
I have 1,300. So
Yeah, but
What's
you gotta post more, kid.
yeah,
You're getting
it's
there.
it's a
I tag you every
consistency
day.
thing.
It's yeah, it is. It's just it's posting every day and like maybe every
well,
third.
it's just hard because I'm not able because I go
Yeah,
on meetings
for
every day, and
sure.
I cannot be like, hey,
It's so
let
easy
me
for me to make
record this
content,
meeting.
like easy content. It's just like, 'cause I can just record like a 5 minute portion of my day, and bam, like that little 5 minute video can give me content for like literally years. Like I can make 10 posts off of it.
When it's real too, and that's what people want to see. That's the number one hate I get on from people is like everything I do is staged, and I'm like, to a certain level, yeah. Like I'm like, let me go make some
This is
stuff
what I
happen
got,
for
you
you
know.
guys.
This is what
Like,
I do.
It's
yeah.
awesome. Or it's like, because I'm trying to find trendy audio, and then like you get the trendy audio, and people are like, the audio will be like, work hard or something, and like I'm just shutting a valve, and people are like, oh yeah, real hard shutting a valve, kid. Oh, it's awesome. Oh yeah, that's another thing is I've been telling Kenko if he's got to do like some dancing. Have you done any dancing videos, Colton?
My actually like the biggest video I ever had a stupid dance. Like I pressed a live line and I did like it was like a viral dance at the time and it got like 9 million views on TikTok.
That
Like I
sounds,
hate the video. Like I just like I hate it.
dude.
I got
That's
to
what
do
I'm
that rigid.
saying.
I got to do that rigid experience thing. And at the beginning, they bring everybody in and they like play post that you did for rigid, and they like mine comes up and it's that, and I'm just like, God damn it! Like this thing is chasing me like this. It's never gonna go away. Like yes,
I told
of course
Brian
it's
we're
the
gonna
one
do a
where I
dance.
dance. Like
We're
yeah,
gonna do a
I
dance
was like, I'm
video when
not
we link
dancing.
up. Just
Like
shake
I'm
that
not
thing,
dancing.
kid. Come on.
I think you should dance. It'll
You
it'll work
you
out
work
for you.
hard on that physique. I'm gonna videotape you and get you to dance.
Yeah,
I'll play
what
some
what
salsa in the morning when I'm making some Azul coffee.
So
heck
Schlund
yeah.
says that in North Texas, the hydrants and the hydrant shutoffs and shutoffs are reverse threaded. Why would they do that? I've heard this before. I've seen a meathead maintenance dude just completely bust one.
Whoa, come on. Just because he
What?
turned it the wrong way, he's a meathead. Come on now.
For sure. Next question. Do you need to put Vic grease too? Thanks, Tommy from Chandler. So do you have to grease the? No, you don't have to grease anything. I don't think.
Are
No,
you
I
talking to
think
me?
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
I
they're
think you
talking to
just
you.
slide it
Yeah,
on there.
No, don't lubricate any of our stuff. It's all ready to rock.
it's pre-lubed, kid.
Well, I mean, yeah, so it does have some lube on it, but it's just for us to put the sealing element in at the factory. So it's an H1 food grade lubricant. So
The
it
O-rings
is.
seem like they're greased from the factory. They're slick. You guys are onto it in the comments. I'm telling you.
Yeah, so like it's fun, dude. I thought there was like some technical way we did it. So I go to the factory and there's like a big plastic cement mixer, and they throw a bunch of sealing elements in there and like squirt the lube in there, and it just like tumbles them around, and then they put them into bags. I'm like, this is hilarious. Like
Wow.
all these robots and stuff we have going, and there's just like people are like hand lubricating sealing
I
elements.
was wondering why he didn't use hoses. Maybe Steve's talking about your play pipe video. Bobby loves a hater comment. Listen, gets me going. It does get me going. We talk shit up here in the Northeast, so I'm all for it. Let's talk some shit. I don't know. Sometimes people might just be being from New England or Massachusetts, but then you just got people who are just genuinely pissed that I'm posting on Instagram.
No, I think really though, dude, like I've been across the whole country now. I've been lucky enough to be everywhere. Y'all just talk shit for like fun. It's just like part of like the lingo and how things go. It's how I grew up with my brother, so like I'm used to it. But like you're not used to that, dude. People think you're like trying to be mean to them, and it's like no, this is how we
Like
talk. This is what we
that's
do.
how Matt must be, right? Just talking shit.
Oh, he's dude, and I would love to say that. No, he's super fucking friendly.
Oh
Like he
yeah?
was dude, he's such a nice guy, and he's like super cute with his kids and his wife, and like
I
he
feel like
really
I feel like he
cares
he could
about
talk
the
some shit on the
work.
job.
Maybe more so around other people, or I don't know. Maybe he was just being nice to me because I'm not a plumber, and we were like, I was like fucking crawling through crawly spaces and replacing fucking urinals and shit like that. I was like, dude, I was like, this is what I signed up for. I signed up for like some fun. Let's make some videos. And like the last place we go to some bar, and he's like, gotta get this urinal out of here. I'm like, God damn
God
it,
damn.
what the fuck? Uh,
F them, Bobby. They're just net bangers. Listen, the haters need some attention too. I'm trying to make stories for your kid. I don't know how to make them into reels. When you're on the story, you just swipe to the left twice so you can get on the reels. It's right at the bottom. It says it. Swipe to where it says reels. Post another video in your sandals. It will drive views and comments. Yo, Brian shows up, man. He just
Yeah.
shows up.
Yeah, it was
Brian,
early in the morning, man. I got a call. My tech has been out all day, and I was actually in a hotel. We were gonna go to a winery the next day, and one of the high rises called me, great customer, and said, "Hey, I got a U-Haul truck hit a sprinkler," and I was like, "All right." Told my wife, I was like, "All right, I gotta go." She's like, "I'm coming too." So she had like on some sweatpants, and I had shorts and some flip flops, and
We
we
showed
went
up.
and yeah, we showed up with some pipe wrenches and handled business.
Shut. She was videoing you. I love it. I love it. She takes the videos of you. Dude, that totally screws me up, Schlund. Schlund says in the chat, lefty tighty, righty loosey. lefty tighty, lefty tighty, righty loosey. If you're in Fort Worth, that's
I
awesome.
wonder why that is. Like, is it? That kind of blows my mind that it would be so specific to what area
A
and
lot of
why
the
it's
a
always
lot of the
tight.
fire department stuff is and this is just Bobby speculation is like if they're creating their own hoses, they want you to use their hose, so they use like their own thread. Or
Oh,
they
okay.
want you to, so they make it reverse. So then their hose coupling that maybe someone is making and trying to sell to them, you have to use that specific hose, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe you
It's
don't
like
want,
maybe like it's a manufacturer thing, like trying to grab their like
or you
part of the
don't want like
market.
the rival town using your hydrant. So you're like, you fucking change the threads on. I don't know. It's got to be something like that, right? Why wouldn't everyone just have a fire hose valve? Fire
It
hose
does sound
thread.
it does sound like some Texas shit though, if it is that.
Texas, Texas does America right. We'll see how long you guys can keep it up.
Texas does it big. That's for sure. I know that.
So what do we got? What do you got on the agenda tomorrow?
Train people. That's my job. So I
Yeah.
train. So I'll get up and I've got, if I look at my calendar, I think I have 6 virtual trainings. So if I don't have somebody like a group coming in to like do a training, yeah, I've got 6 local trainings or virtual trainings, and then I'm teaching somebody within Viga about prefab so that we can understand the prefab market and we can hopefully sell to people where they're doing prefabrication.
So you
So,
teach right from your house?
No, so that's the shop. That's like I pretty much live in that shop. That's Viga.
Even when you're virtual though?
Yeah, so that background, like it's just I set up this big like I
Oh,
have
you
like a
need the
work
background.
yeah, I have like a work table and then the camera and stuff. So like my trainings aren't like bullshit PowerPoints. Like that's where I'll
You're showing shit.
yeah, so I do the bend test. I'll press big stuff. Like maybe they have a question about our valves, and I'll pull out a big valve and like talk to them specifically about that. The PowerPoint thing was like how we started. So when I first got there and they sent us over, they're like, we'll just do PowerPoints. I did that for about a week, and I called my boss and I was like, all right, dude, I quit. And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, I will not sit around and do PowerPoints all day for people. And he's like, well, do you want to try something else? And I was like, yeah. I was like, can I just go back into work since nobody else is at the shop because of COVID? And I was like, I'll just set up a camera and I'll just act like I'm doing an in-person training. So I did a couple of those, and there's like 6 or 7 of us trainers, and they're like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And then we kind of all started doing it. So I
Awesome.
tried. I try to take the credit for that, but you know how that goes inside of companies, how much credit you get for some of the stuff you've done.
Well, we'll give you the credit here. We know it was you.
I believe in it,
That's
and that's
it
something,
looks dope. It's a dope setup.
dude. It's super cool. And I've been slowly expanding it. So now I've got like a touch screen, like a big touch screen TV that you can touch and do stuff on. I've got like the wall of history, like the super old rigid tools and like shit like that. So a little bubble tank that I show like Smart Connect in. So it's like a fish tank, and you can see like the air going by the fittings until you press them and stuff. Like I don't know.
oh,
It's always
that's
something
cool.
because
That is cool. You're making waves, dude.
well, you know how it is if you're in the trades too. Like you got used to working in the field, something new every single day. And then I went to vegan, and I was like, wow, like I like this job and it's cool, but like I'm doing a lot of the same over and over. And I was like, I can't live like that. So that's where sometimes I get in a little bit of trouble with them. It's just like sometimes my boss walks into the shop and he's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, how much did you spend on this? Like, what is this? Like, what is going on in here? I'm like, don't worry, man. They're gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
That is great. I love it. Yeah, no, I like what you're doing.
It is
So is
different though.
this training free or
Training's free, man. So that's why if you guys want, you hit me up. I'll get your digits. I'll get you in touch with like your local Vega guy. They can come out in the field and train you. We can do a virtual training. We bring whole groups out. We have people like do events. So there's like hunting, fishing. You come for a whole day of training with me. All kinds of stuff. It's all free. It's a good for the goose, good for the gander thing. Like we get you in for training, and I get to train you about the product. But the whole basic idea is that you guys are after seeing it, experiencing it, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna go out and buy more of it, or buy it. Period. If you aren't buying it, so
Right. No, that makes sense.
and
Got to
that's kind
get
of how I got my job. So like my company, the company I worked for, built Vega headquarters. We were like mechanical on the project, and my buddy got a job as a trainer. And like a year later, I was looking for something different, and then I got the job there. So they like having kind of like tradespeople so that I can speak your guys' language and also talk about our product
that's
versus like,
awesome.
the sales guy coming in and be like, hey, have you guys ever heard of Vega? Like, how do you feel about a press fitting? And you guys like, yeah, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah, get out of here. We don't have time for this. We're trying to sell stuff.
That's
This is New
awesome.
Bed. This is New Bedford. We don't care about press fittings.
New Beffa.
But it is interesting, and I wonder if that's really the future. Maybe not in the next 2 years, but maybe in four.
I mean, yeah, if you look at the European markets had press for about 10 years longer. It started in Germany, and they're about 80% press, 20% traditional, and we're about 20 to 80, and they've only had it for 10 more years. So, I mean, it's going to go that way.
Even
It's
the
just
sprinkler guys over there?
even the sprinkler guys, they do piping a little bit different in Europe, but yeah, I mean, it's just moved in that direction.
Yeah,
That's almost kind of sad as a purist, as you will. As a second generation, Bobby's third generation. We've been screwing that pipe in for a long time, and this is, I don't know, to see that go away.
the system that
Well,
I'm working on today is threaded 6 inch. It comes out of the ground threaded 6 inch. It's got an old 6-inch valve, alarm valve, and it's got the special chamber there and the gong, and it just goes up. Threaded 6-inch, threaded 45s into the wall, threaded T's 6-inch. It's like you can see like the deep wrench marks in that thing. Those guys were like, it's probably 3 of them hanging on it.
It's like the guys who used to make their own, like all thread wasn't a thing back in the day. You used to
Mm.
thread a piece of rod to like make a
Just a
hanger like
little
that.
bit. That it has.
Yep.
Those are the types of hangers. I was telling the apprentice. I had a tour. Maybe he's in his 3rd year. And I was telling like this is why like sometimes people now will specify all thread rod.
Yep.
Like if you say rod, you'll get an old guy that's like that's all thread rod because back in the
Yep.
day, and the middle's not threaded, just the ends are threaded. Whatever you needed, you would cut that metal rod and thread them on the end. A lot of people don't know that that's how it was.
Or like hammer drills. Like hammer drills weren't a thing. Like I remember star bit drilling with my dad when I was a kid. It was like a bit, and you'd hit it with a hammer and turn it, and then you'd hit it and turn it. Like I was the hammer drill for my dad. Like like,
That's if you ever watch like rock climbers, that's how they set their things in. They still do it. They're not going to carry a hammer drill with them. They carry a little hammer, and that's how people would drill shields back in the day. I don't know how
I mean,
long that would take.
I think they're silly for not carrying a Milwaukee like mini hammer drill, but whatever.
Like a little 12
There's
volt.
no way that tool weighs like more than just a hammer and that other thing.
Yeah,
Like I
hammer's
gotta feel
heavy.
that they could actually like save weight by just taking a battery
You're
out
right.
of the hill.
Oh, the guy that I watched, I literally just watched a video, and he's got a clear tube, and he blows the dust out from his mouth. He puts the tube in the
I
hole and
saw
blows it.
that.
Did you
Yeah,
see
I
that
saw that. He
video?
has this big thing and then turns it, pulls it out.
I gotta do one shield like that before the end.
They're not fun. All I was getting at there was like people like indoor plumbing. You guys like all thread. We like hammer drills. Like it's just the next level of progression. And here's my big thing. Everybody says it's like taking the skill away from the trades, and I just think that's so bonkers because I pride myself on being a mechanic. Like if all I am is a tool, if like the best thing I can do is thread a piece of pipe and put it together, like that's not my profession. My profession is understanding the mechanical system, understanding fire sprinkler and how it goes together, and why this is here and why is that there. That's the big part of the job, really.
Back in my day, did I say that,
Back in
Florencio?
my day.
I said back in the day. I don't know if I said my day. I'm not quite there yet. I
Yeah.
got here late. Did anyone say what the press tool costs? Well, which one, Steve? There's a bunch of them.
Depends on the tool, Steve. So the cheapest one on the market's RP115 from Rigid. It only does 1/2 and 3/4 pro press. It's like $1,100. You can get a compact tool that'll do 1 1/4 pro press, 1 inch mega press from Rigid or Milwaukee for right around $2,400. And then like a full size tool, 350, 351, M18, something like that. It's going to be around 3,500. And all those tools will come with like the correlating pro press jaws. And then you buy mega press jaws or whatever else you're getting into separately.
So which one's the one to get?
350 from Rigid, by far the best tool, most capabilities, fastest press. It has no calibration cycle. Rigid makes a badass press tool in my mind. It just does everything you could ever want it to
That might
do.
have been the one I was using, just an old ass one.
This is like the new version of that old ass one, basically.
Okay.
Rigid 350.
Because there was I think I sent you a video when I was originally gonna do that job, but the smaller one that I grabbed was burnt out. But that thing was like old too.
Dude, I was dying when you sent me that picture. I was like, I like had to double take, and I was like, I literally looked at my tool almost like from history, like it's the stuff that nobody has. I was like, oh yeah, that's the old 210. Like, dude, I didn't even know that people still have those.
So like,
yeah,
so
that's a tool.
the one guy needed it the day before me, and it did. I guess it did like its last press. Is that a thing?
It needs to be calibrated. So like that press means it's shutting down, and it's like send me in to get like rechecked out before I'll press again. So it can work, but you got to do it.
I think they said that it did 30,000 presses. That meant or something like that.
Yeah, so at 30,000, it'll start flashing a light after every single press, and then with Rigid tools at that 32 on that style of tool, it just stops. It's like, bro, you got to get me checked out to make sure I'm doing my job.
We just keep
Oh,
on
that makes
pressing.
complete sense.
But
So
if you figure, dude, 30,000 presses is a lot. But we're talking
that's
about the brand new 350, no calibration. Press until you die. Like the tool just goes and goes and goes. You never have to screw with it.
that's sick.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So have y'all, of as much as you're aware, do you know in America if there's been a like a full building mega press?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Hundreds, thousands, maybe, I don't know, thousands upon thousands. Statue of Liberty, the Pentagon, Most Amazon buildings, Amazon only accepts MegaPress gas in their buildings now. Like they won't use anybody other than MegaPress gas because they've had so many problems with other systems. I worked with it at Buckley Air Force Base. I worked with it at Lockheed Martin. Like, yeah, there's complete total buildings that are nothing but press for sure.
What about with fire sprinkler, as you're
Yeah,
aware of? Yeah,
at least the building I work in, Viga has all fire sprinkler and MegaPress. It's a hard sell with the fire sprinkler guys. Like that's not what that's why I was like, oh, if I could give this tool away to somebody, it'd be Bobby. Because like I want people to see that like fire sprinkler can use it because it's just
yeah.
a harder sell with you guys. And I think I don't know what it is. Like when I first started, I had like this bad opinion of fire sprinkler guys. I'm like, oh, a bunch of idiots. They just screw together erector sets. And then I start to meet you guys. I'm like, oh, there's like way fucking more to it than just like screwing those pipes together. Like this whole like pipe fitter classism I had is so untrue.
Well,
Right?
it's almost like
It is a
this
big
is the
puzzle.
way it is kind of thing.
What's that?
It's almost like this is the way it is kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, and almost more so than the other trades. I remember when I did
Oh,
it.
for sure.
I was
For
a welder.
sure.
I had 15 different weld certs, and the guy came out and was like, "We're gonna press this," and it was a mega press job. And I was like, "Hell, we are." And I was like, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude. Like, that's not what we do." Even I had that, like when I first started. So
I'm with it. I want to adapt with the times and like even to get my cordless threader, like bro, I had to ask for that thing and I had to literally break down how much time I was going to save because that's ultimately what any company owner, your boss, maybe owners themselves are looking. They're looking to save the time. That's the most expensive thing is the labor. So if I can tell them, listen, this is going to save me X amount of hours over the course of X amount of days, then they're like, all right, we'll buy it for you. And that cordless threader has been one of the best purchases that I've ever added to the van
But
from
then you still have oiler,
company
you
down.
know, there's
Well, they
still
do
all
they
these
do
things
make
that
like
are
special
attached to it.
aerosol spray and you put a rag under it. There's a lot of guys that do it that. I like to use my oiler because it makes a really buttery thread and I know that it's
yeah,
nice and cool and
yeah,
lubed up.
that spray shit, dude. I've never had luck with it unless you're just like,
You have to empty the
like
whole
the
can and
whole
it's like 25 bucks a can where I can just have my nice
Jeez.
oiler and I got nuclear oil. I only use
time.
nuclear.
Bobby, get me in the DMs. Both you guys get me in the DMs, and I'll find out the person in your local area. I know your guy from my area for Viga. For you, Bobby, will be Mike.
Yeah, I
Or
think I got his number already.
yeah, did you ever talk to him?
No, but I honestly think that we might be in the market for a pro press. So maybe I could see. I'll talk to my office and link him up with him.
If dude, here's the thing: if you guys are doing enough work and you're gonna buy enough of it, like we'll give you a tool. Like if there's a benefit for us to just make sure you have a tool, like that's also in the cards too. So definitely keep in touch with that guy. And same thing for you, Brian. If you guys feel like it would be a benefit and the numbers work out for both of us, like we can get you hooked up because we just want you buying the fittings.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
far enough.
I definitely want to, put it, let's say, do an estimate on a job and see how much time I'm saving. I would have to figure that out. How
You
much
gotta
time
do.
we're
You
You
saving.
gotta every pump
You
room
know?
from now on that you do. You just gotta have them do press so they can get. Um,
you don't even have to do it yourself. We have a cost comparator. It's a spreadsheet. So if you give me a fitting takeoff with all the fittings you would use on a job in thread, I'll put it in his press. I just need to know like your hourly like labor rates and stuff like that so I can build it to your crew and I'll give you the exact estimated cost savings on that job.
Yeah, I can send you all that. I can send you a blueprint
just that.
estimated where it's like I got a huge job. This
Dude,
fat boy right here.
if you have a blueprint, we even have design services. So you can just send your print to design services and they'll design it and give you the fitting takeoff and give you the cost comparison. Everything that goes with it.
Let's
So I would
go.
definitely do that and then send it over to my company and see what we're, is that I mean, if it saves you money, it saves you time, why wouldn't we?
It makes
Why
good
wouldn't
videos,
anybody
man. It makes a
do
good
that?
video. You know when you go by a pro press video, you know you're watching it. You're watching all the plumbers go and then and you just want to be doing that yourself. I'm telling you, man.
Dude, it's so
It
fast.
feels good. It feels good to do
It's
it.
so fast.
It felt
And
good.
then
Not gonna
also
lie.
like health-wise, we were talking about health and fitness. Like, I mean, it saves your back, you
Oh my
know?
God. So we had
Mhm.
Hilti do a study on thread and pipe versus mega press and like the stress it does on your body. So Hilti did a whole study where this dude was strapped up to all these fucking wires and sensors and shit on his muscles. and it was something ridiculous, like 98% less strain on your body and like your
Wow.
elbow.
That's my gym, bro. That's my gym, though. Is
I was
fucking
just saying,
pulling those
Bobby's gonna
fucking
actually have
wrenches.
to go to the
Then I'm gonna
gym
have to
now.
go to the gym. I'm gonna have my
He
little
can't
press
just
tool and fucking wilt away to nothing.
Bobby has freaking Popeye forearms. Like those monsters. We were down in Vegas. We were eating breakfast, and I saw his forearms. It's like, geez, dude.
Packing
I
You're
was,
then
PK.
you're at the
I
gym on the
couldn't
cable
imagine.
machine doing the forearm thing to try to catch up. I gotta get these
Yeah, I
in.
want to be like
Fucking
Bobby.
pro press.
Like, there's no way I would arm wrestle with that guy. No way.
Dude, I'm short in stature, but that's what I would used to do is I would challenge like the big guys to arm wrestles and like my shorter arms with all that muscle and built in my elbow, like it'd just be like
Oh
fucking
man,
I'd be
so
able to
much
put people
torque.
down. That was my party trick. Fire sprinkler community. You mess with the bean, you get the burrito. Tommy says, just ask. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Bobby, circa
That's right.
2023. I keep asking every month for a cordless threader. You got more than a month. You got to ask like every Thursday at the same time.
You just have to point out when there's a problem. You got to be like,
Yeah.
literally, like call your boss. Like when he calls, be like, dude, I'm just trying to get this fucking corded threader up in the ceiling.
If I
right
had
now.
this cordless threader right now, I could have easily saved us like 4 hours, and that's the cost of the thing. So,
I'm
That's how I
with it.
got
I'm
my.
all about spreading the word about this.
well, the
For
new
Oh yeah,
sure.
one, the newer one now is a little bit smaller than the one I got. I don't know if it's the first gen, but it's similar weight to the corded one, but it's just still so much better. I think they have like a smaller one now.
and then even smaller than that, a press tool.
I pressed. Philip Pratt patented and created the first automatic sprinkler system in 1872. Wow, that's quite the
Was,
fact.
was it made out of wood?
Was
Was
it?
it wood?
Was it?
Was it red wood?
Let me see. I
I
have
forgot what
this.
they. I remember reading about that. I do not remember
I
what
got
they
all my
used for the
stuff
heat
packed right here.
element.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna give you when I see you
So,
tomorrow.
so it's gravity
Can I
fed.
fall? Can I fly with sprinkler heads? You think I'll have trouble
Yes.
flying with a sprinkler
I
head
think you should be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
that was soaked in vinegar?
I fly with like fittings and stuff on accident all the time. I always have
This
like an
is
That makes sense.
160, 1950, a Viking C
Oh, that
upright.
looks amazing.
I stripped it down in vinegar and baking soda. Came out good,
Oh, it
right?
looks great. Yeah,
This is from Boston Fire Department headquarters.
that's
Swapped out
so
swapped
cool.
out almost 70 today, so I took a few home. This is
I'll
something
pay you.
that would normally
I'll
go in
pay
there.
you to ship me one of those just because it says Viking on it.
Yeah. Well, that's why he was asking you in the beginning. Cause so you're
I
you're
was confused.
so you're thinking more Viking like old style like Viking like the Vikings, right?
Yeah. So
Because you're tall and you're
yeah.
like you got a Viking background or something.
It's just,
So
yeah, it's just my heritage.
and Viking
Yeah.
Viking for us in sprinklers is a company. And they
Ah,
make
okay.
sprinkler heads and they make valves and they're
And
very
it's
involved
huge.
it's a
Yeah.
huge sprinkler organization if you would Viking
So
Group.
And
that's
also,
that's how I got
Viking
on the
Group.
podcast.
And
You guys like to
Viking
start
Group has
clubs.
their own fab shops, and they sell only through their own distribution.
Damn.
So that's
that
why
was
I was
that was a
thinking
tough
since
word.
you're, dude, I was struggling there, struggling.
Colton said, "Damn,
Yeah, I was like,
Distribution.
I gotta get it. I gotta
Di-
get it. I can't just abandon it.
distribution."
Blah, blah.
It's the southern in them. It's all right. He's excited to see me tomorrow.
I'm pumped.
Wow.
I'm
I'm
pumped for
pumped.
you guys. Do you guys do a live while you're there and shit like that too?
Oh yeah. So
We do
we
have a
Or is
go
that
live. We do
live.
have a live
We
show on the 7th with Thursday at 9. We'll be doing our regular live show, but we'll just be. I'm gonna just be. I'll be pumping it. I'll be pumping my story. You'll see me over and over. We'll probably go Instagram live.
Thursday
yeah.
at 9 Mountain Time or Eastern Time?
Eastern. So whatever time it is
Eastern.
now, I don't know Eastern. Yeah. You have
Yeah.
to just say wherever you are and let the people look it up, right?
Yeah, I
Like
feel like I have to point it out. I've told people about lives, and then people like 2 hours later, they're like, "Hey, dude, where's your live?" I'm like, "It's over. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
yeah,
It's done happened."
yeah.
Like,
When you put that and you put mountain time, I'm like mountain time. I go right onto Google and I type in mountain time and it tells me right then, and I'm like, all right, they're fucking 2 hours behind us or whatever.
you know, you guys are living in the future.
That's it.
Yeah,
East Coast.
for
It's the
sure.
Beast Coast. Be careful though. We got some of the guys from the Cali chapter in here. We don't want
I
Yeah.
to.
talked to
Cali's great.
I talked to an Australian dude. I want to say all the time, but it's very hit or miss because he'll like send me a message and I'll reply like the next day, and then it'll take like days for our messages to get back and forth. But that's why I always joke with them. I'm like, dude, you're living in the future. Like, what's happening tomorrow? Like, what's it like?
Oh yeah, they're way ahead.
Yeah.
What do we got? What brand cordless threader do you use? I got the Milwaukee, the first generation. I don't know. It does up to 2 inch. That baby rips. I do 4 hours of driving each day. Think I convinced my company to
Jeez.
get me a helicopter? Why are you doing so much driving, Daryl? What are you
Yeah,
driving? You got
maybe
to go 2 hours one way every day?
I hate to say this, but maybe it's time for a transition.
That's a lot of traveling, Daryl. I
Woo.
start getting antsy after an hour. I like an hour. I
I had,
like an hour in, an hour home with a 10 to 15 minute buffer.
I had
What's
a couple
crazy is when I was in the
months.
field, if it's over two, I'm staying in a hotel.
Oh yeah? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I want to come home and put my kids to bed. I don't. I can't be staying in a hotel.
I
I'd
don't
be.
have
I'd
kids,
be.
but I want to like cuddle my puppies and stuff like
I
that.
want to. Yeah. I want to be in my
Look
own
at that.
bed. I've flown
Yeah.
with couplings, 4-inch groove fittings, and impacts in sockets. In a
What?
in a
You didn't fly with
carry-on, bro.
No,
I don't check
you didn't fly with
bags.
no,
impacts.
man.
You can only take a
I don't
six
think you
inch
can do
tool
an
on the plane.
impact.
I don't know. That seems a little
Not a
bit like
battery. You ain't flying with a battery.
imagine you show up with a 4-inch elbow and they're like, bro, what is this? You're like, oh, this is just a 4-inch elbow.
Yeah. It's
Orlando
armor.
crew. It's not that older than mine. 3 hours behind you guys. You predict the future. Cali chapter, West Coast, Best Coast. Yo, easy with the Best Coast shit. All right,
But hey,
easy.
Callie's in here deep
Cali is
every
deep. Cali is
every
deep, but
week.
the East Coast is the Beast Coast.
I will say, if I had to go to a coast, it wouldn't be the fucking East Coast. Fucking cold and shitty out there. Fuck you guys. Like, ain't happening.
Where do you want to go? You want to be in Cali or you want to be in New England?
Oh, me, California for sure. If I was
Really?
choosing between the two,
No.
I'm a warm
Palm
summertime,
trees, man.
get out on the
Traitor.
beach.
Yeah, but like
Not,
the air
Palm
and the
trees.
water and then most of the people. Come on.
bro.
Oh,
I'm the next level. I'm the George Michaels of pipe fitting here. I'm not too worried about anything that comes either the coast.
that is awesome. All right. Wow, that was a quick hour. Did
That
you
was
hear about that
fun.
that Delta plane that flew into Atlanta? Had to revert back to Atlanta?
Oh, dude.
Did the dude shit himself?
Evidently, they said it was the entire time.
They said it was a biohazard situation.
Could you imagine the smell and
Buddy
that?
Buddy pooped himself in his
Whoa.
seat, and then when he ran to the bathroom, it went everywhere allegedly.
Hmm.
Whew! Imagine being on that flight. They were 2 hours into the flight, and the captain turned around and says, "We got a biohazard problem."
Oh,
That's
jeez.
a lot of pissed off people.
That's
Say, "Where's
that's
the
a
plumber? We need a
nightmare.
plumber on this plane."
Right before we go.
Bobby, the water is turning the frogs. there's
The plumber
something.
would have been taking a nap.
There's something wrong in Cali water. I'm telling you, we're growing strong. The dope and tape community. Let's go.
Let's
Appreciate you
go.
guys. Don't forget to hit the like button before we end this. Really appreciate that.
And please tell your friends about us too. This
Yeah,
is
talk
a
about us on the
community that we're
job. Come on.
starting for us. So if you don't share, no one knows about it.
If you're going to AFSA tomorrow, hit me in the DMs or comment on this. I see all the comments afterwards, and let us know that you're going there, and we'll link up. We'll take a selfie, or we'll take a video, or we'll just chat, or whatever you want to do. If you see us walking, say hi.
Yeah, for sure. We would love to meet you.
I work in the mountains, 3 to 4 hours a day. That's a lot. That's a lot of driving, Daryl. Let's chat. Let's chat after this. I think you got to cut that driving time down, Bubs.
Yeah, that's rough, bro.
Move to the mountains.
Yeah, move to the mountains if
Wise
you work in the
suggestion.
mountains, like Paul the Mountain Man. Is gonna get a dope and tape fast face tattoo. We're waiting for that.
Here's the thing: if you guys start pressing everything, you're gonna have to change the name to something other than Dope and Tape. That'll be the only
No,
problem with it,
no, because
guys.
we still got to dope
No,
and
it's
tape
the
the head, bro.
heritage.
Still got to dope and
Okay.
tape the head, right?
The
And
heritage
that's a
of
big
it.
that's a big one. A lot of people are fucking pulling their eyelashes out right now when I'm saying doping and taping the head, because I think that's like the big one where people usually pick one or the other, and I love
Yeah,
both.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love both.
I'm on tape only.
On the head,
On the head, tape only.
you know the name of this show?
Yeah, I know, but I'm telling you, that's what I was taught. That's what I've been doing forever.
You could be taught
Tape
something and do. You
only.
could be taught something, do something completely different.
I've never had a head leak.
Yeah.
And
Never.
isn't the tapered nature of the thread supposed to create the seal? Shouldn't you not need dope or tape? Period.
That's a good.
Head,
We should. We
no.
should listen. We're gonna come out to Viega and test that. We're gonna do
I
a
mean,
Well,
that's
dope.
the whole.
code
We're gonna do
code
a
The whole
still
dope,
idea.
says either or.
dope and tape, hand tight. We're gonna do a dope, hand tight, and we're gonna do a tape hand tight, and we're gonna do nothing hand tight, and we're gonna see who does the best.
I'll
Can
just
we
yeah,
pump it? Can we
I'll
pump
do
it
that
as
tomorrow
like
for you
super
guys.
high?
Yeah, we're gonna.
What's your Insta, Brian?
It's Atlanta Fire Protection.
Do I follow you on there?
No, but I just followed you
Okay, so I'll
during
get
the
you
show.
back, and then I'll do all three of those things tomorrow, and I'll hydrostatic test them with my little test pump, and we'll see who wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll
All
make
right. Okay.
I'll make a little reel, and I'll collab both you guys so you can both be on it.
That's
Dude, that'd be
awesome.
sick.
Everybody be
That's
looking out
something I
for it.
definitely want to see.
It's
Do I
exciting,
need a
kid.
fire sprinkler head though, or can I just do a threaded piece of
Nah,
pipe?
just do a plug or like a nipple cap.
Okay,
You could
cool.
do it. You
Got
could
that.
do
Yeah,
a. You
it's
could
the
do a
same
half-inch
thing.
plug. It'd be the same thing. Really,
Cool.
just testing to see the
Whose
sealing.
hand though? My hand, because I'm telling you, dude, the grip strength.
Yeah, we'll
No,
go with
I
we'll go
know.
with as tight. We'll go with as tight as those little fingers can get it, kid.
It's gonna be like a horrible test because none of them are gonna leak. I'm like, just do whatever the fuck you want. It all works.
Well
Does it
then,
matter?
do you got a torque wrench there?
I don't think I do have a torque
So
wrench.
all right, so because part of it could be then at the end, you see when you torque them off and see how tight you actually got them with your
Yeah,
hands. I bet you
we
could.
might
I
have.
bet you could probably put like. I bet you probably got like 45 pounds in those fingers.
I'm pretty sure. We were talking about who could like we were trying to pressure test. Like, could you blow in a pipe to like create a pressure test? So I'm like blowing on this pipe, and my buddy's like, "Dude, there's no way you put enough to register." I'm like, "Dude, I'm pushing like 20 pounds at least." He like looks it up on the internet. He's like, "Nobody pushes 20 pounds." He's like, "A human being can push like 4." I'm like, "No, I got like 20 in me." I didn't have 20
Oh,
in
I would have
me.
took. I would have taken a video of
The
you blowing that thing
confidence.
for sure. Let's
That's awesome.
collab. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on, Golden. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man, we appreciate it. That was
Actually, no, I
fun.
appreciate doing all of them. Thanks for letting me come on here and do a vegan sales pitch. Apparently, that's my
Yeah, no,
thing.
that's all
So
right,
there
man.
you go.
That's what we're here for.
Anything innovative like that, we want to know about it. We want to hear about it. That's the reason why we go to these expos to see all the new stuff.
If this is going to take the industry over in the next 5 to 10 years, then I want to be like at the forefront of it. I want to be doing it first.
Absolutely. And
I don't want to be
support
Oh,
it.
doing
yeah,
it last. Great.
totally agreed.
Eric says, "Great show, Trump 2024." He's giving his little show.